Institutional and statutory expenditure, and the following heads are expected to be considered.
Head 01, Office of the President, State House. Head 02, Office of the Vice President. Head 03, National Assembly. Head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia. Head 06, Civil Service Commission, Office of the President.
Head 07, Office of the Auditor General. Head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President. Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President. Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit.
Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media. Head 27, Public Service Management Division. Head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Head 10, Zambia Police Service Commission. Head 11, Zambia Police Service, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Head 12, Office of the Public Protector.
Head 15, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Head 16, Drug Enforcement Commission. Head 18, Judiciary.
Head 25, Local Government Service Commission. Head 29, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Head 30, Zambia Correctional Service. Head 31, Ministry of Justice. Head 36, Zambia Correctional Service Commission. And Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute.
Those are the key heads of expenditure that we expect the Committee of Supply to consider. And we also expect, on today's order paper, we do have a notice of subject for debate on the motion of adjournment. This one is to be done by Mr. Mlenga Fube, titled Address the Existence of Political Intolerance in the Country.
Mr. Chairperson.
Bells are ringing. It seems we don't have a quorum. Once a quorum is constituted, business shall commence. According to the standard practice, there must be 1/3 members of Parliament in the House in order for business of the House to transact.
And just in case you've just tuned in, the House has resolved into Committee of Supply. This is for the consideration of estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory expenditure. And we do expect the Committee of Supply to consider quite a number of key heads of expenditure.
Yes, indeed, and some of the heads include Head 01, Office of the President, State House. Head 02, Office of the Vice President. Head 03, National Assembly. Head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia. Head 06, Civil Service Commission, Office of the President. Head 07, Office of the Auditor General.
Head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President. Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President. Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media.
Head 27, Public Service Management Division. Head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Head 10, Zambia Police Service Commission. Head 11, Zambia Police Service, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Head 12, Office of the Public Protector.
Head 15, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. Head 16, Drug Enforcement Commission. Head 18, Judiciary. Head 25, Local Government Service Commission. Head 29, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Head 30, Zambia Correctional Service. Head 31, Ministry of Justice. Head 36, Zambia Correctional Service Commission. And Head 39, Smart Zambia Institute.
And so those are the heads of expenditure that we expect the Committee of Supply to consider once a quorum is constituted. Bells are still ringing, which signifies that the quorum has not yet been constituted. It is a requirement that 1/3 of members of Parliament need to be present for business to be transacted on the floor of the House. So once a quorum is constituted, we do expect committee work to resume.
Order. When business adjourned yesterday, Tuesday, 2nd December 2025, the Committee of Supply on the Estimates of Revenue and Expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026 presented to the National Assembly September 2026 was considering Head 01 State House, Office of the President, and Mr. Nakoka had just finishing debating, and the acting leader of business was about to respond. May the acting leader of government business respond?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson, in response to Honorable Kafaya's proposal, I would like to submit as follows. We have noted the proposal moved by Mr. Kafaya, MP. However, we do not support it on the following grounds. One, the allocation is meant to support ministries, promises, and spending agencies in verifying issues that arise during program implementation with the aim of developing timely interventions. Furthermore, it enables the presidency to oversee the implementation of government programs in line with presidential directives, the party manifesto as well, and other national development frameworks. Secondly, project monitoring entails regular spot checks of government programs, focusing primarily on the visibility of national projects in state media, coordination efforts, and oversight of capital projects experiencing bottlenecks to ensure effective implementation. It's necessary that projects are monitored in order to ensure that the objective for which they were planned for and implemented are achieved. Therefore, without this allocation, that is Head 01 State House will be unable to fulfill the core mandates. In view of the foregoing, Mr. Chairman, the proposal should not be sustained. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I put the question. The question is that Head 01, 163,469,036 is amended in respect of Head 01, Office of the President, State House, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, and stands part of the estimate. As many as of that opinion say aye. I'm repeating it. I didn't say how I read. Head 01, 163,469,36,000 as amended in respect of Head 01, Office of the President, State House, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, stands part of the estimate. As many as of that opinion say aye. of the contrary say no. Let me explain something. Are you there to guide me? Yes, wait. Let me, it's time to explain. So the amendment, the person that was moving this amendment is Mr. Kafwaya. He was the eye in this issue. Yes, so Mr. Kafwaya, you've shot your own amendment because, yes, you've said no, but you are the mover. Let's proceed. The question is in negative, amendment falls off. Let's make progress. Head 02, Office of the Vice President. The Acting Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 153,298,473 be approved in respect of Head 02, Office of the Vice President, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 153,298,473 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 03, Head 02, Office of the Vice President, in line with programs outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate, any objection? I see none. I put the question. The question is that head total 153,298,473 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 02, Office of the Vice President, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Honorable members, I have to make an announcement that we should have dealt with Head 03, National Assembly, but further consultations are underway. So I've rescheduled to Tuesday next week. We go straight to Head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia, the Acting Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 1.290,475,439, that is 1,290,475,439 kwacha, be approved in respect of Head 5, Electoral Commission of Zambia, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 1,290,475,439 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate, any objection? Mr. Kamkyongo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Oh, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson, this head is a very important head, Mr. Chairperson. And indeed, looking at the resources allocated to this institution, bearing in mind that next year they will be undertaking a national assignment of conducting general elections, will pose a challenge. Already, Mr. Speaker, from the performance of just doing voter registration, where the institution has failed to meet the targets, will have a negative impact on the national assignment they are going to undertake, which is general elections. And some of the reasons, Mr. Chairperson, we interacted with this institution during the budget analysis of this fiscal year. You could tell that most of the lines that they wanted to be properly funded were not funded. And therefore, it wasn't surprising for some of us who interacted with the institution for the current budget that we have today, that they were going to have challenges. Mr. Chairperson, we would like to get an assurance, even from the acting leader of government business, who is presenting this head, to assure this August House and through this August House, the public out there, that more money will be found to supplement the budgetary allocation to this institution, the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Such a person, it's also worth noting that the cooperating partners who have been supporting this institution have cut down their support, posing further challenge to the institution. We don't want to see what happened, Mr. Chairperson, the challenges they faced in the equipment that they procured to undertake voter registration, which probably could have arrived late, not properly tested. It ended up, giving fault. These machines were giving challenges to the officers who were assigned, and this affected the overall performance of the registration process. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairperson, I can hear people questioning because they don't understand the implications. Mr. Chairperson, it is important that we try and fill that gap which has been left by the cooperating partners who have supported this institution for some time. Because that gap, that financial gap, like I've said, will pose a significant challenge. They will need to have logistics in place. They had challenges of audit queries that could have been avoided. If you come to deploying of security, for example, Zambia police, who are supposed to have a separate budget to help in the deployment, are found to be catered for under the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And the audit queries we were dealing with, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairperson, were to the effect that the expenditure on such activities were not properly accounted for. So it's important, Mr. Speaker, when we request that the funding to undertake general elections, which will help the institution undertake that mammoth task, because a fair held elections will culminate into genuinely acceptable results to lessen conflicts that may emanate in the Electoral Commission of Zambia failing to undertake fair, transparent, and acceptable general elections. So we call on the lead of government business to appeal to the Minister of Finance to ensure that the funding is granted to this institution. Further to that, Mr. Speaker, we are going to see the failure that we are seeing now by the ECZ failing to achieve their projected target of 3 million registered voters. It's a failure. We can't celebrate failure, Mr. Speaker. Yes, this can be understood by the people, but the general elections will be very critical for the Zambian people to accept if there are shortcomings, such as we have witnessed in the registration of voters that has failed to reach the projected target. With these few remarks, Mr. Chairperson, I still urge government to ensure that they find more resources to capacitate Electoral Commission of Zambia. I thank you.
Thank you. I think earlier yesterday I made an announcement that at this stage is one member from each political grouping. So at this stage, I call upon the acting leader of government business to respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. And thanks very much, Honorable Kampiongo, for that debate. Honorable Kampiongo, I would like, through you and through this Honorable House, to assure you that this government, the New Dawn government, will do everything in its power to ensure that the elections are properly funded. Because it's very, very important that elections are fair, free and fair. And we shall ensure that these elections are free and fair and funds are made available for this purpose. The Minister of Finance is here. Should we need any supplementary budget, we shall make it available. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I put the question. The question is that head total 1,290,475,439 kwacha in respect of head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, stands part of the estimates. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. We move to head 06, Civil Service Commission. The Honorable Minister of Labor and Social Security.
Madam Chairperson, Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 21,118,851 kwacha be approved in respect of head 06, Civil Service Commission, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 21,118,851 kwacha be approved in respect of head 06, Civil Service Commission, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate, any objection? Mr. Fube.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to add the voice on the Civil Service Commission. Mr. Speaker, when we look at the Civil Service Commission, I think it's a commission dealing with the broadest part of the 300,000 plus workers. And given the status of the Civil Service Commission, especially at Central Point, you find that they have been having problems in making sure that they reach out to especially when they want to do appraisals, because they are also part of their tasks is to look into appraisals and many other. I think if my memory serves me right, they should not have more than 6 vehicles that are operational in terms of reaching the 10 provinces. And we are talking about civil servants seated in all the 116 districts. Given that status, Mr. Speaker, this money still has a lot of gaps. And if you look at the expenditure patterns, where much of the money is going to emoluments. And the goods and services where the equipment for is deprived. And this means, Mr. Speaker, that the objectives of the civil service, especially that they are also supposed to do not just appraisal, but they are also supposed to champion programs that are supposed to boost the human capital within the civil service. There's no component, stronger component in that area. And this leaves us with a situation where if much of the money has to go to emoluments, we will be having people getting paid, and the emoluments actually are not properly even justified if you look at the tabulations. They are not justified in the categories, whether they are increments or they are supposed to employ more, and that's a particular gap. And if we are to consider, Mr. Chairman, it means that we are going to be having people paid for doing no work at all, because the logistics that are supposed to facilitate the work is not allowing them. And I think the people of Chile would like to put it on record that the Public Service Commission should be given more attention, especially when it comes to issues of logistics, which among other things include vehicles, so that they realize the objective they are meant for. I think that is the little that I wanted to add on.
Thank you, Honorable Fuve. I put the question, or maybe the Honorable Minister of Labor and Social Security to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. And I'd like to thank the honourable member who has made his submission about the need to sharpen supervision and the need for more logistics that can assist in ensuring that we sharpen the civil service. Mr. Chairperson, first and foremost, I'd like to assure the member that this government has undertaken a decentralization, and most of the civil service has been taken in terms of supervision to the local areas, decentralized, devolution. And so the supervision is taking place at that place. And secondly, there's the digitization as well that we have embarked on as a government. This is another tool instrument that is supposed to help enhance supervision, and indeed this complemented by the human resource management committees also that have been decentralized also complements all that. So you can see a clear pathway that will ensure that resources are moving away from the central point that we have been used to for many years. So that is the way, Mr. Chair, we have been structured in terms of the way forward. Most of the work involving the officers of the scale of below has been delegated to MPSs. Scale down from the top, from the central level, from the central point, the fat that was at the upper part of this body has been brought down through the decentralization, so that we have got a more critical eye, a much closer eye through the devolution, and each one of the MPSs is supervising, other than at that central point, at cabinet office, or at the public service, rather, the Civil Service Commission. So now each one of the ministries, agriculture, to the level where they've taken it also, be it energy, every one of the MPSs and the agencies have now taken the supervision of personnel through those human resource management committees. And this is where the budget allocations has gone. So it doesn't have to stay at the Service Commission. I submit with these few words, Mr. Chairperson.
The question is that head total 21,118,851 be approved in respect of head 06, Civil Service Commission, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. As in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, to stand as part of the estimate. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head 07, Office of the Auditor General, the Acting Leader of Government Business.
Thank you very much once more, Mr. Chairperson. I beg to move that 248,119,696 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 07, Office of the Auditor General, to meet the expenditure for the year ending December 2026.
The question is that head total 248,119,696 be approved in respect of Head 07, Office of the Auditor General, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate? Mr. Kampyongo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson.
Mr. Kampyongo, this time around you are in a very good mood. You are debating too much. Huh? It's encouraging. You can proceed.
Mr. Chairperson, we are trying to teach these honorable members what it means to be an MP offering incredible oversight functions. That's what we are trying to teach these newcomers who will be going out very soon. At least they need to go with a bit of lessons. Mr. Chairperson,
where are they going?
The mandate, the people who are and fire, Mr. Speaker, will be waiting next year. That's why I was emphasizing that the electoral commissioner should do a proper job so that the turnover can be reduced. I can see a lot of first-timers who are going very fast. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairperson, the functions of this important office, the Auditor General's office, are very critical and very important. As you know, this is the institution that is mandated to audit the accounts of state organs, state institutions, provincial administrations, and all state spending agencies. What we note in this proposed budget, Mr. Speaker, is a reduction of allocation of funds. One is, Mr. Speaker, in the year 2025, which is this year, the allocation to the institution was 252,264,875. There is now a reduction, Mr. Speaker, from this figure to the figure that the Honorable Acting Leader of Government has stated, 248,119,696 kwacha. Mr. Speaker, this is happening when the inflation rate is going up. And we, who belong to the committees that depend on the work of the Auditor General through the annual reports that they generate, are very concerned, Mr. Speaker. And speaking as a committee that interacted with the institution during the sector budget analysis, we expressed ourselves that we hoped by now, as we are considering the final figures, there could have been an adjustment. Because we are setting an institution to fail, Mr. Speaker. This is a watchdog institution to see how prudent the budget, the whole entire budget we are appropriating, is going to be utilized. Now, if you underfund this watchdog, which is mandated to watch on these funds that you are appropriating in this book, and setting it to fail, what are you intending to do? What are you intending to do? It's a concern, Mr. Speaker, that should be taken by the Honorable Minister of Finance, who is responsible for appropriating money. Because there is a risk that this institution fails The people that will be touching their fingers on the resources we are appropriating to spending agencies who get away with their mischief. So it's very important, Mr. Speaker, even as we, Mr. Chairperson, even as we recommend this appropriation, to appeal to the minister that put the money where it is needed. It's very important. Otherwise, we shall end up appropriating the money and people will just go and misuse it. So, our call on the lead of government business. We are saying this, Mr. Speaker, because, Mr. Chairperson, because in our interaction, we were meant to believe that there could be some amendments to the budget lines that are very critical to the institution. So, if we go with the status quo, you are reducing the allocation when the cost of goods and services are going up. You are certainly setting the institution to fail. No two ways about it. There's no magic, there's no abracadabra. If you don't fund them adequately, they won't perform to the expectations of the citizens. So, Minister of Finance, we are still pleading with you to reconsider adjusting this allocation. You can't go down when the inflation rate is going up. It doesn't work. It doesn't help, Mr. Speaker. So let's put our money where it matters most. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
The acting leader of government business to respond.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson, we should all be cognizant of the fact that government has limited resources. And because of that, we have to make do with what resources we have. The Auditor General's, the head for the Auditor General was given a ceiling. And within that ceiling, they were able to distribute the monies, the budgets, to the best of their ability, putting money where it matters most in order for the Auditor General to be able to efficiently execute the services of that office. Yes, it has been reduced, but the reduction is meager. It's negative 2% only. And as far as we are concerned, as government, and the allocations as done by the Auditor General, we have no doubt that the Auditor General's office will be able to deliver on its mandate. I thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you. Honorable Kafwaya, I think I'd announced that according to our standing orders, it's only one person. Yes. Per political party. Unless it's an amendment, but in this head there's no amendment. So you've indicated, maybe is that head 48,119,669 in request of the Auditor General in line outlined in of the contrary say no. You are not responding. Then we are not passing the head if you are not responding. People are hungry. They had tea break. We gave them tea. Head. Where? Huh? Where? Where? Mr. Kafwaya, you should indicate in time before we pass. So we skipped your amendment. So the question is that head total 248,119,696 be approved in respect of head 07, Office of the Auditor General, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate? Mr. Kafwaya.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I beg to move that the budget be amended with words and figures as circulated.
The question is that head total 248,119,696 in respect of head 07, Office of the Auditor General, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, be amended with words as circulated. Any debate? Any objection? Mr. Kafwaya.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, my amendment is based on increasing the amount of debt and investment audit. Mr. Chairman, I considered the factors that you consider when planning an audit. Materiality is one of them. You also consider risk. You consider the business model, internal procedures, as well as periodic assessment. Now, when I look at the public debt and investment is at the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance is simply the neighbor to Auditor General's head office. So I think that the logistics required for Auditor General to conduct an audit in the Ministry of Finance is easier than what they may consider to audit local authorities. Let's remember that it is in the local authorities where we have cash for work. It is there where we have CDF. It is in the local authorities where we have all these loans granted to people, some people who are even failing to pay. So when you look at delinquency and all those other things, you think that more to the audit of local authorities. Consequently, I propose that 5 million be deducted from public debt and investment audit and added to, to the audit of local authorities. Mr. Chairman, I do think that anybody who considers how local authorities have been suffering or have been causing government to suffer, it is important for the general to get it there job to help the government these problems that are Chairman, CDF application workmanship, collapsing bridges, we know can help the government these problems, but only when you allocate enough resources in that area that easier for Auditor General's budget to be realigned in this fashion. Let me reiterate the point that Honorable Kampiongo raised in terms of the overall allocation. I also think it will continue reducing the amount of money allocated to Auditor General. If I remind you, in 2024, 267.7 million to General. The following, this amount was 252.3. You are reducing it further to 241. Ministry of has been increasing from 2024, in fact from 2022, year on year. So I don't see why you want Auditor General to audit a big, or using a de minimis, increasing to Auditor General so that do a good job. But the proper allocation which considers risk, and this decided to raise two. Mr. Chairman, I submit the first amendment.
The acting leader of government business to respond.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, maybe as an additional to submission by Honorable Kafaya on the inflation, that the amounts are going down while the inflation is going up. According to our projections, the inflationary rate is going down. It's not going up. It is true that since came into power, that the inflation level goes down. Coming to your proposal, Fire, I would like to submit as follows. We have noted the proposal of Parliament, Honorable Kafwaya. We, however, do not support the proposal on the following grounds. One, the provision for Office State and Investment Directorate with only a limited portion allocated to operations. So what you are proposing, Honorable Kafaya, if it is actualized, actually means a lot of people, staff in the Ministry of Finance will go out salaries. It is unacceptable. I don't think you would like to that situation to happen. Secondly, a reduction in the allocation would therefore affect the implementation of planned audit activities. In view of the foregoing, the proposal should not be sustained. In other words, we should reject the proposal that has been put up by
I put the question. The question is that 248, 669 as amended in respect of 807, Office of the Auditor General, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, part of the estimates. As of that opinion, say aye. Of the contrary, say no. No. The noes have it. The question is in the negative. Amendment falls off. Office of the President, the acting leader of government business. Head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President, the acting leader of government business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, sorry. Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that kwacha 913,851,334 be approved in respect of Head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December, the year 2026.
The question is, head total 913,851,334 kwacha be approved in respect of head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate? Mr. Kafwaya?
Mr. Chairman, are we going back to Order General or not? Second amendment on Order General has not been moved, but it has been circulated.
Order, may you take your seat? There was just one amendment in the orders of proceedings. So any other that hasn't been approved, may you proceed as guided?
Which one?
Go on head 08. Head 08, you have an amendment.
Yes, I do have an amendment, and I will proceed after my other amendment has been rejected without consideration. Mr. Chairman, I beg that the budget with words and figures are circulated.
The question is that head total 913,851,334 in respect of head 08, Cabinet Office, in line as outlined in the Yellow Book, be added with words circulated. Any debate? Mr. Kafwaya?
Mr. Chairman, let's consider money from Cabinet Office, now from affairs and summit meetings. Mr. Chairman, let's take this money to the Financial Intelligence Center. And the amount that I'm proposing to move is only 150 million. Mr. Chairman, the Financial Intelligence Center has in this country, if you recall, it reported around 2 billion kwacha during the PF, when the PF was about to go out of office. 2 billion kwacha as illicit financial flows. You will also recall that the Financial Intelligence Center has reported 60 billion kwacha under this government, 4.5 billion kwacha. 2.8 billion United States dollars, 3.5 billion United States dollars, and another 3.5 billion United States dollars having flown out of this country under the UPND government. That is $10 billion plus in 4 years. This work is tremendous, but what is their budget? Their budget is so small. But where I searched the Yellow Book, and I found...
Order, Honorable. As you are mentioning.
Come again?
Those figures, may you take your seat? Those figures you are mentioning, these are figures that the House has got no idea. These are figures that are unsubstantiated. Imaginary figures, because you haven't laid that factual evidence on the table for you to use them. Remember, whatever you use here has to be factual and be able to be verified. But You, those figures, those are, I don't know where you get them from. So I think let's avoid to debate in that order, because the public, so we should avoid misleading the public. If you wanted to go that route, our standing orders say that you should read your evidence before 12 o'clock, so that you're able to speak to it. So proceed as guided. And maybe draw those figures that you've mentioned, because substantiated. If you want to use them in future, you know that you. So before you proceed, you withdraw the figures.
As guided by Mr. Chairman, I would like to withdraw, and that FIC reported
I've guided you to fire. Do you want to proceed with an amendment?
Yes.
Yes, so I've guided you issues to do with figures. Don't go that route. You may proceed.
I proceed by debate or by withdrawing first? Clear, so that I don't make a mistake. I withdraw the figures or go ahead and debate.
Withdraw the figures.
Okay.
Mentioning of figures that we...
Those are the figures that
figures
mentioned.
that are
So I'm reversing
unsubstantiated.
I'm reversing them, Mr. Chairman. I am saying all those figures I mentioned, a total of over $10 billion and 60 billion kwacha, draw them and say that FIC has not reported them. Mr. Chairman, I would like FIC a decent budget so that they can be able to do more work. I have noted that FIC does most of this work together with the financial institutions. But I also know that FIC could do more work if they were given locations in our borders, at airports.
Order. There's a point of order. The Honorable Minister of Information.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the occasion and opportunity. As you know, Mr. Chairman, I rarely rise on points of orders, except when it is expedient and necessary so to do, that I do rise. And my point of order, Mr. Chairman, is premised on the traditions and conventions of this House. Mr. Chairman, the rules of this House, the practices and precedents are very, very clear that when the presiding officer gives guidance, the member should oblige, such as you have done, Mr. Chairman, to direct the member of Parliament for Lunte to withdraw. But he has patently refused to follow your guidance by stating that he was doing what he was going to say he was doing because you had said so, and therefore to say that at your guidance he is saying the FIC did not report. That does not amount to withdrawing in terms of the records on the of our handset. And further, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, the honorable member on the floor of the House is a senior member. But we have seen that he is one of the members on your left with a tendency of wanting to argue with presiding officers and making the House ungovernable. Where is this honorable member and his such colleagues with such like-mindedness getting the appetite to be arguing with the presiding officers expending it, the variable time of this August House, so that, Mr. Speaker, you are able to conduct the business of this House with dispatch. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I need your serious ruling on this unbecoming behavior on the floor of this House. I thank you.
Order. First of all, I order the people, the Hansard people, to ensure that that is completely removed from our records. But as for the honorable member, when you are guided, ensure that you oblige. You lose nothing. In fact, you earn more respect. And debate accordingly. Your people in Ilunte are watching. Your people are watching Ilunte. So I've guided you. This time around, I'll temper justice with mercy. So you may proceed as guided.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I feel sorry for FIC for the amount of work they are doing with a little budget. This is why I thought an institution like by any well proposed to the UPND government to take 150 million kwacha, give it to FIC. Where are you getting this? You are getting it from and summit meetings at cabinet office. Why am I saying so? I am saying because we are going into an election year. We know that very few people are going to attend summits. We know also that the government, particularly at the head, has been avoiding this lately. You can tell the president never went there. So getting money from this particular head is not harmful to take to FIC, who won't go to elections. Because as you know, FIC will continue.
Now, honorable member,
yes, sir.
What has got the UN summit to do with the
that is a head where I'm taking the money
cabinet from. Office?
That is a head where I'm taking the money from.
Let's just, structure your debate very well. Avoid controversy.
No, it's a head. You can check. That is a head where I'm proposing to get the money from.
Now I'm guiding you. It's like we are two here to regulate business of the House. You see. Proceed as guided. What has got the UN summit to do with what we are doing? And the State House has passed already. So proceed as guided, honorable member. You still have a minute to continue supporting your amendment.
Mr. Chairman, let me appeal to my honorable colleagues, including Minister Cornelius Mwitwa, to say this amendment is important. It is important because FIC, as I said, when given a decent amount, they can locate their operations in key areas I have in mind in our borders, airports, all these borders, Livingstone, Chirundu, Copper Belt, we have Chirilavomwe there. Borders, we need to have so that they can report these illicit financial flows of not only money, but also natural resources. Mr. Chairman, if we did so, then the true value of what this country is losing will be able to be accurately projected for the benefit of the Zambian people. Mr. Chairman, I wish to move the amendment.
The acting leader of government's business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairperson, the proposal, Mr. Kafwaya, MP, asking the move 150 million kwacha from Head 08 Cabinet Office to the Financial Intelligence Center. As important as that might be, in the honorable member's opinion, the proposed movement of the from the sub-program 001, which is public affairs and summit meetings, would drop the amount. This seems to ignore basic of budgeting. And secondly, in view of the forthcoming elections, the presidency to challenges in the execution of statutory, ceremonial, and other functions. It is coming at a time when the anticipated increase in will be able to attend anticipate in the number of by foreign heads and dignitaries during year 2026. Mr. Chairperson, I propose the proposal that Honorable Kafaya has put on the floor be rejected. I thank you.
Since Mr. Kafaya moved and the for one member, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson, what is to support the amendment that was moved by Honorable Kafaya? Although being rejected, it's important that we appreciate the rationale. However, Mr. Speaker, I've got clarifications to seek from the acting leader of government. Head 08 Cabinet Office of the President. I would draw your attention, leader of government business, to program 3418, sub-program 03, 004, 005, and 006. If you have got the output-based annual budget book, it's on page 76. Chairperson, I would like to find out why the reduction on 003, First Lady's office, which was at 3 million in 2024 and 2.3 million in 2025, has now reduced to 1.8 million. 004, former president, which had an allocation of 4,044,200 2026, it's got no allocation. I would like to find out where this 4 million plus, because we don't benefiting from the state the whole entire 2024. Mr. Chairperson, families of former president's welfare. This budget line had 5.71,402 in 2024. 2025, 2,356,685. In 2026, there is a proposal to spend a mere 1,919,000. I would like to know how many families will be catered for out of this significant 006, sub-program 006, freedom fighters, This budget line had 1,073,753 kwacha in 2024. 2025, 824,801. And 2026, there's a proposal 659 kwacha. This significant reduction, these budget lines and the reasons of such clarification. I thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Yes. Chairperson, and thanks very much, Honorable Kampiongo, for clarification. I missed the first sub-program, but I was able to catch on page 76, I was able to catch 005, Families of Former President's Welfare, and 006, but I'll ask for the other one later. The reduction in the First Lady and other programs, Mr. Chairperson, is essentially due to budgetary constraints. Unfortunately, that's what the government could afford, the Treasury could afford at the time. Under 005, the Office of the Former President, the 18.57% reduction for this is attributed to the number of families of former presidents being supported. So naturally, the fewer, the less that is allocated to the families. Under 006 Freedom Fighters, the reduction again of 18.57% is due to budgetary constraints as well. I thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
I put the question. The question is that there is one that the Honorable Minister didn't understand. You didn't respond?
Sorry, I think I was able to catch it. That's a reduction in the First Lady's programs, reduced, and I gave the answer, basically due to budgetary constraints. So we are working within what we can afford. The rest, I think I was able to answer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I put the question. The question is that head total 913,851,334 in respect of head 08 Cabinet Office, Office of the President, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, stands part of the estimates. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Sorry, the ayes have affirmative. But what you should be paying attention. You should be paying attention to the business. Or else you state your position that you don't want. So be observant. Or else you reject a head and the ministry won't have money. Yeah, so let's avoid, let's try to, I know you are consulting each other, let's ensure that we pay maximum attention. This is a budget. the aspirations of this country lie on this budget. Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 22,868,309 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 22,868,309 be approved in respect of Head 08, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate, any objection? I see none. I put the question. The question is that head total 22,868,309 be approved in respect of Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President, outlined in the Yellow Book. The ayes have it and is resolved in the affirmative. Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. Acting business.
Thank you very much once more, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that 81,430,364 shall be approved in respect of Head 19, Management and Mitigation Unit, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December the year 2026.
The question is that head total 81,430,364 be approved in respect of Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate, any objection? I see none. I put the question. Mr. Fuwe, you should indicate before I start putting the question. So I proceed next time. I put the question. The question is that head total 81,430,364 be approved in respect of Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media. The Honorable Information and Media.
Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 233,876,061 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 233,876,061 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any objection? I see none. I put is that head total 233,876,061 kwacha be approved in respect of Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head 27, Public Service Management Division. The Honorable Minister of Labour and Social Security.
Mr. Chairperson, that 104,676,231 million be approved in respect of Head 27, Public Service Management Division, to meet the expenditure of 1st December 2026.
The question is that head total 1,968,075 be approved in respect of head 27, Public Service Management Division, in line with programs. Any debate, objection? Mr. Kafwaya.
Thank you, Chairman, for giving support this head, Public Service Management Division. Mr. Chairman, in my view, this is a very important department of government which must be supported. But as I support the money that we intend to appropriate to this particular head, I would like to appeal to the Public Service Management Division to look into the civil servants who have been placed in the holding position for over 3 years. I would like PSMD to ensure that those people are allocated their positions so that they can go back to work. Mr. Chairman, I consider it a waste of public resources to keep civil servants at the holding position at cabinet without tendering service to the Zambian people, but yet they are getting paid on a like to see is a situation where all those who have been placed on holding positions, the PSMD must find for them positions across the public service so that they are actually allocated. Once PSMD does that, then the Zambian people will begin to derive value from the payments that they are offering them through taxpayers' money on a monthly basis. Mr. Speaker, the pace is tight, the money is hard to come by, and therefore every quarter that is squeezed out of a taxpayer must be able to add value, and paying dormant people on a deliberate basis is not value for money. It is actually a waste of public resources. As I support Public Service Management Division, I urge them to do likewise so that those people can tender decency to the Zambian people. Mr. Chairman, I support.
The Honorable Minister of Labour and Social Security to respond.
Mr. Chairperson, I'd like to thank you and the Honorable Member for Lunte for being a member of this House. Thank you. Mr. Chairperson, in the long term, the division is working on attachments. I must say restructuring overall is the future direction. And in these attachments across the public service, and these are the provisions that we are looking to, and work is in progress. I thank you.
I put the question. The question is that head total 104,968,875 in respect of head 27 Public Service Management Division, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, stands part of the estimate. As many as of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head total 104,968,875 in respect of head 27 Public Service Management Division, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, is ordered to stand part of the estimates. We now move to head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Mr. Chairperson, I beg to move that 97,890,919 kwacha be approved in respect of the head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, to meet the expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The question is that head total 97,890,919 be approved in respect of head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. Any debate? I see none. I put the question. The question is that head total 97,990,919 kwacha be approved in respect of head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Head total 97,890,919 is approved in respect of head 44, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, in line with the programs as outlined in the Yellow Book, and is ordered to stand as part of the estimates. As the time is now past 18:25, I interrupt proceedings. At committee work stands adjourned. The Committee of Supply will report progress and ask leave to sit again. Okay, 11. Yeah, Kako, you see. I'm 8. Madam Speaker, I have to report to the House that a Committee of Supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026 has gone through heads 01, 02, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 19, 26, 27, and 44, and has made progress and asked leave to sit again.
Day for resumption of committee work.
Tomorrow, Madam Speaker.
Committee work to resume tomorrow. The acting lead of government business adjournment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House do now adjourn.
Notice of an item for debate on the motion of adjournment of the House has been received. The Honorable Member for Chiruvi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I can see they are very happy. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to move the motion on addressing the political intolerance in the country. In the first place, I think I would like to establish, I know that sometimes when we are talking about these motions, there are semantics that come in. I know that there was another motion where a word escalating brought problems. Intolerance is the opposite of tolerance. Does intolerance exist, and specifically political intolerance? The question, Madam Speaker, is yes. And why are we addressing political intolerance? Because we are addressing political intolerance, it has got potential to dilute a good governance environment. Madam Speaker, this nation runs by order. And if this nation runs by order, Madam Speaker, allow me to say that the Vision 2030 talks about good governance. The 8th National Development Plan, specifically a pillar on good governance environment, talks about good governance. Madam Speaker, they are causing confusion.
Just to continue, Honorable Member.
Talks about good governance environment. And if we can bring in a pillar from the 8th National Development Plan and make it part of our life, a national life, it means that we need to take it serious. Further, Madam Speaker, if you go in Article 8, Article 8 lays down factors and values like unity, good governance, democracy, and many other factors. Why are we addressing political intolerance today? Madam Speaker, when we look at what forms much of our life is politics, when there is a turn of every after 5 years, the Zambians go to polls and they elect a government. And when they entrust that government, the government is also responsible. You find that when I say government, Madam Speaker, I mean parliament, I mean executive, and I mean judiciary. Because it's out of that culmination of an election that we have these things in place. As you may know, Madam Speaker, the president has powers even to go into the judiciary so long there is the approval of parliament. And a parliament is also made of people that are directly elected by the citizenry. Given that scenario, Madam Speaker, if political intolerance persists, it means that such an environment becomes toxic, and the byproducts of intolerance, among them is a culture, of course, of violence, a culture of corruption, a culture of nepotism in public institutions, and many other factors come in. Madam Speaker, currently we have an environment where even houses like your house, Madam Speaker, would bring something very good, either coming from the right or from the left. You find that certain things will be refused which are in the interest of the nation because of the same political intolerance. And the political intolerance is a culture. And now that it is a culture, you find that because of the friction that it causes among the people, because I know I want to really isolate political intolerance from violence because it's just one of the small byproducts of political intolerance. You find that even where people are supposed to coexist and cross-pollinate ideas to build the nation. For instance, when you look into Article 63 of our Constitution, it is talking about how members of parliament and even 62, how they are supposed to registrate, represent, approve the budget, and do oversight role. All these factors, Madam Speaker, if there is political intolerance, they will be misconstrued. Madam Speaker, I'm also talking about a scenario where political intolerance has spread to the grassroots, I mean at district level as well as constituency level. For instance, the executive at a top layer, like the cabinet, would be willing to take these services to the people, like where they have taken social cash transfer, cash for work, and and many other government services. But where political intolerance exists, they will find an environment where, at district level, things are polarized. And for instance, I'm just giving an example, Madam Speaker, because I may be asked for evidence which I may not provide. You find that at district level, where the DC is supposed to coordinate these government services, they are given based on political face and political affiliation. Where if the president intends that I have this package for social cash transfer, I have this package for cash for work, when it reaches down there, I have the package for FISIP. When it reaches down there, Madam Speaker, political intolerance will make the list of beneficiaries doctored. I think just that Madam, the community development minister is not around. She has really been good in making sure that she intervenes in some of these services, which, for instance, we have experienced in Chirubi, and she has intervened positively so, because of political intolerance. Madam Speaker, why we are bringing this motion is that we want to run away from the domain of where everything is interpreted with a political lens, where something that is brought forth, you interpret with a political lens because people are polarized. Madam Speaker, life is spiritual too. You find that among the Zambians, we have 95% plus Christians. The Muslims account for over 2.8%, and the other 1.8% goes to the by faith and the like. Political intolerance can equally trespass in that domain, where people now who are supposed to enter the same temple, the same mosque, and many other, becomes divided because there is political intolerance. Madam Speaker, what we are trying to underscore is that political intolerance kills objectivity, which is a good ingredient in national development. Madam Speaker, that 8th National Development Plan, if the existing political intolerance continues, can be collapsed into nothing, and the implementation may not be realized. Because in a democracy, there is need to realize that a country is co-managed. Co-managing that the views that come from even the minority are supposed to count. And the views that come from the majority are supposed to cross-pollinate with those views that are coming from the, the minority. Madam Speaker, today, I don't intend to point the finger at anyone, because all of us are actually culprits in this political intolerance. And I thought that the people of Chirubi should address this particular question, especially that we are going towards elections. Madam Speaker, Zambia has not seen bloodshed in terms of when they are trying to do political competition. And
is there a point of order in this?
In the 30 minutes.
The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Article Order number 71, relevance. You know, Honorable Madam Speaker, it is the mover in the initial time of debate. He said people exercise semantics. It is him who mentioned it. And so we are going to I'm using semantics to raise this point of order against my friend, the Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, I get affected when some people use certain words which cover everyone. I'm trying to look at what intolerance is and what my friend is debating on. I didn't want to debate, but he's using all of us fire, I get affected. Honorable Fuve Mlenga, the MP for Chirubi, can he lay that proof on the table there to show that everyone in this country is politically intolerant? If there was intolerance, Madam Speaker, would my friend today debate peacefully like that? Because he said, all of us. So if he can mind, if he did not use the word all of us, I wouldn't have raised Rose on the point of order. So is he in order to state that all of us, we are not politically intolerant? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Chirubi, it's very clear this is your motion. You are raising the motion yourself. Don't involve other people. Just stick to yourself and the reasons why you've raised this motion. So when you are debating, it's you alone. Moreover, we do not debate ourselves. So stick to yourself. He was out of order.
To underscore, and on a lighter note, I think there's no political intolerance between me and Honorable Mute, because we are very good friends. Madam Speaker, what I was trying to underscore is that political intolerance has the capacity to deprive us of the already credentials that we have as a peaceful nation, and as a nation that, among other things, promote freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom of assembly. Madam Speaker, it has further got the capacity of killing the fraternal bonds that we enjoy from family level, and it can completely kill social cohesion. And political intolerance, Madam Speaker, can lead to civil strife. So, Madam Speaker, it is a core of reasoning that at this point we have reached. Let us all reflect that if we allow political intolerance to go on and we treat it like it's a pet kind of topic, or it's pet happening, we need to realize that before we wake up, it will be too late for us, because we have not dealt with the roots of political intolerance. Madam Speaker, with that, I would like to record that this is a non-controversial motion meant purely on patriotism level, and I think it has to be addressed, and it doesn't follow a finger on anyone. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Mwandi.
Madam Speaker, thank you so very much for allowing the people of Mwandi, through me, to debate this motion on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, allow me to help the mover of the motion describe what political intolerance is. So, Madam Speaker, political intolerance is a refusal to accept and respect the rights of others who hold different or divergent political views. That's what political intolerance is. Madam Speaker, I'm taken aback by this motion that we need to address the political intolerance in this country. I'm not too sure whether the mover of the motion understood what political intolerance is. I know he's a very good researcher, but I suspect that he could have been thrown off guard when it comes to the interpretation of what political intolerance is.
He was dreaming.
Madam Speaker, I'll help him understand what this government has done to make sure that we can address the political intolerance that was left by the PF. Madam Speaker, it is in this government where you can see a woman dressed in regalia for PF walk together with a woman that is dressed in regalia for UPND without any intolerance whatsoever. Madam Speaker, where we are coming from, that was not the case. It was not tolerated at all. That's why, Madam Speaker, I'm at pains when such motions come to the floor of the House. Because I think, Madam Speaker, as human beings, we should have that thing of shame. Where you are a sense of shame, Madam Speaker, where you are saying, I cannot do this because of where we are coming from.
For Monday, kindly withdraw shame and replace it with a better word.
Look at who's calling me a girl. Madam Speaker, I can be guided on what parliamentary word to use for people that do not have shame. I don't know, Madam Speaker. I do not want to use that word because I've been guided by you, Madam Speaker, to say this one is shameless. But then because I cannot find any word whatsoever to use, Madam Speaker, I do not want to use that word.
You can't
Madam
find
Speaker,
a better word.
Let me proceed. Madam Speaker, political intolerance, what it meant in this country was our president being thrown out of Sun FM. The time that he went to express his views that were different from these guys. Madam Speaker, he had to be made to climb a roof. Madam Speaker, that's why I'm at pains to see Honorable Fube moving such a motion to say there's political intolerance. Madam Speaker, how many radio stations or how many roofs has he claimed himself for expressing different views? None. Madam Speaker, how many radio stations have been closed since this government took over? Madam Speaker, I can say none. Madam Speaker, the same honorable member even appears on radio stations that have been now opened by the UPND. So what does it mean that there is political intolerance? Madam Speaker, I do not understand. I think as honorable members, we need to move away from moving political motions. And we should be able, you know, Madam Speaker, you've guided me. But I say, for me, where I come from, there is that thing that guides me to say this is not right. Madam Speaker, political tolerance. Madam Speaker, political intolerance was the violence that we saw. Madam Speaker, there was a lot of violence in this country. Madam Speaker, I do not want to refer to what I said last week, because that honorable member, he is the same product. When he came through this parliament, there was a lot of violence where he came from. I'm going to school you, Honorable Fube. You are the one who has brought the motion, and I'm going to school you. So that in the future, you don't bring such motions.
Order, the Honorable Member for Monday. Order.
Down, Fube. I'll school you.
Order, the Honorable Member for Monday. We are debating the motion, not the individual. Just stick to the motion, Honorable Member for Monday. Forget about the individual.
Madam Speaker, I apologize. I will not concentrate on the individual because he came through political violence. What I will do is concentrate on the motion that he has brought. Madam Speaker, political tolerance is what we have seen now. Madam Speaker, if there was political intolerance, do you know what would have happened, Madam Speaker? It was going to be revenge. Where after the political intolerance that we faced during the former regime, what would have done, Madam Speaker, is to stand and look for an opportunity to revenge.
Your time is almost up.
Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I would want to say that, Madam Speaker, I conclude and say this motion is not well intended. And I can say right now in this country, there's a lot of political tolerance. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honorable Minister for Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, from the onset, I would like to indicate that the current government, Madam Speaker, stands on a point of two issues. Number one, Madam Speaker, is unity. And I would like Honorable Fube to listen, not to be talking to another person. You brought this motion. So if your motion is not necessary, Madam Speaker,
the Honorable Member for Chirubi.
Yes.
That's your motion?
Exactly, so you should listen. This government, Madam Speaker, is based on two fundamental issues. Number one is unity. How can anyone start bringing issues of intolerance when the government is sitting on a foundation of unity and the other pillar is economic development? Some previous governments, Madam Speaker, didn't have foundation stones. We didn't know where they were standing. It was just violence. That is when such motions should have been brought. Secondly, Madam Speaker, it is important that the country knows who brings the motion. Madam Speaker, a messenger is an important element in you accepting what they bring or they don't. That's why previously, in the colonial times, messengers were beaten because they brought issues of tax. So we need to be very careful who brings these motions, because they are now igniting and reminding us of what we went through. Let me, Madam Speaker, say that currently Zambia is enjoying a lot of peace. Zambia is taking away cadarism. How can a person who is a product of cadarism and violence come today and say that we should bring political intolerance issues here? Madam Speaker, there is no toxicity. There is no toxic environment in Zambia, Madam Speaker. The environment in Zambia is very, very fair and absorbing. How can anyone say that Zambia has intolerance in religion? Zambia is extremely tolerant with religion. How many, Madam Speaker, religious groupings are allowed in Zambia? This one will be shouting in this one will be using that language, this one will be saying this, and we are also tolerant. However, Madam Speaker, there are groups that feel that they earn more, they own more, they deserve more, and those should be told to be tolerant. Not the government, but those groupings who actually Honorable Fuwe knows very well. Now, Madam Speaker, let me also talk about the issue that the mover of the motion brought in. He said, let us not play with peace. Madam Speaker, there's a very powerful, small article circulating on social media from a former soldier who says, you people, don't play with peace. Peace is important. You think that what you have in Zambia is no peace. You will have no hospitals. You will have filling stations without fuel. Even Chiruvi will become very far to get to because there will be no vehicles. We need to be careful what we bring here. There will be no boats because there will be no one to give diesel for those boats. Not even canoes, because even the crocodiles will be angry. So let us be careful. I think let us bring motions which bring development. Let us bring motions which are aiming for development, not motions which will simply rile people. Madam Speaker, I am from Chipata. I'm MP for Chipata. There is a certain compound in Chipata whose name I don't want to mention because it will become the topic. But in there, we have got people who are maimed by the PF. There are women who are lame now because of the PF. How can I sit here and listen to a PF person talk about intolerance? I mean, this should be withdrawn. Otherwise, we are all going to have a very bad night because we're being reminded of wrong things. Let's talk about growing maize. Let's talk about mining copper, other than someone bringing an emotion which doesn't even need to be heard. And, you know, this democracy that we have should be managed. Madam Speaker, certain motions should not be accepted, especially when you have told us to go home.
Order, Honorable Member.
I'll answer you. I can answer you. Madam Speaker, I think without wasting a lot of time, this motion should not have been allowed. This motion should be set aside. And the people who brought this motion, Madam Speaker, are the ones who need to be guided and told that the political intolerance that they brought is still being felt. We are failing to bury ourselves because of intolerance of a certain group of people. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. I'll take one PF and one UPND. We'll start with the Honorable Member for Lunte and the Shesheke. And Shesheke.
There is no better time to request the UPND government to evaluate whether there is political intolerance or not. Madam Speaker, I find this motion timely. I find it timely because when one of my colleagues was debating, referred to when HH in opposition went through the roof, that was political intolerance. Yeah. Madam Speaker, when you see Black Apple clobbered, that's political intolerance. When you see Jackson Kungo losing a life, that is political intolerance. Madam Speaker, can we address political intolerance? Yes, we should. What are the benefits of addressing political intolerance, Madam Speaker? You create a better society. You create a society where people are able to accept ideas from each other. Where people, Madam Speaker, are able to engage based on faculties. This is time, Madam Speaker, where faculty development must be valued much more than physical development. Madam Speaker, discrimination will reduce in our country if we solve this problem. Imposing restrictions, refusal to accept diversity will be rare among ourselves. This is why, Madam Speaker, a motion such as this one should be encouraged. There must be room to evaluate our position as a country. And if we find any possibilities or any thing encouraging political intolerance, we must deal with those things so that our society can become better. Madam Speaker, obviously, civil strife can result from political intolerance. And I don't see anyone in this assembly or even outside of this assembly who would want civil strife in our country. This is why any opportunity to escalate political intolerance must be dealt with. Madam Speaker, I would like to praise my honorable colleague, Honorable Fube, for thinking patriotically. This is how patriotic people think. And I heard the minister. The minister said, this government now is based on unity. This government now is based on economic development. Therefore, bring motions only which address unity and economic development. Madam, Honorable Fube brought this particular motion after he recognized that in this government, political intolerance is not prioritized. Therefore, urging the government to prioritize political intolerance is a good gesture from Honorable Fube. Madam Speaker, I find creating an opportunity to identify any possibilities of political intolerance as a good governance inclination, because then that governance would be saying we want to get rid of any possibility of anyone flying through the roof like HH in opposition. We want to get rid of any possibility of anyone losing their life like Kungo did. We want, Madam Speaker, to create a country where our ideas must compete across that table so that the best idea wins, and the best idea is what is implemented in form of policy so that it benefits the masses. Madam Speaker, I have found it very surprising that the UPND can be able to say this is a motion which you wrongly admitted in the House. Madam Speaker, I want to praise you for admitting this motion. This is a good motion. Madam Speaker, I wish to submit.
The last member, the Honorable Member for Shesheke.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for the opportunity to add a word on a very critical issue that my colleague, Member of Parliament for Chilubi, has raised. I want to remind him that I was in Chilubi during his by-election. That's why I'm coming here. In the company of Honorable Mwanga, Dr. Stumbeko, Chonya, Dr. Kambwiri, and President HH, and we were ejected in Chilubi by the previous government that we cannot be in the same vicinity. That was political intolerance. I want to remind him the Constitution of Patriotic Front. Article 3 of Patriotic Front Constitution reads, "The party shall ensure that all the public institutions, state-owned enterprises, and popular mass and similar organizations are led by persons who are members of the party and who are uncompromisingly committed to achievements of the party." That was pure political intolerance. I want to remind my colleague that the fracas that happened in Sesheke, where I was a victim, President HH was not allowed to be in Sesheke basically because President Lungu was in Sesheke. That was political intolerance. I want to remind my colleague that Patrick Muchereka, PS, and Mubanga here were beaten in Chilubi mainland during your by-election. That was political intolerance. And I want to remind you that just putting on a mere red t-shirt during the PF reign, it was suicide. People were being beaten. That was political intolerance. And I want to further remind you that
Honorable Member, you can wind up.
even Ruvinda, minister, was beaten by PF cadres. That was political intolerance. Now, I want to show you what President HH has done. Imagine if it was the time of PF being stoned in Kitwe, people would have died. Sorry, in Chingola, people would have died. But because President HH is tolerant, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Order, Honorable Member. Please wind up.
I'm winding up, Madam. I still have 2 minutes.
Within a minute, wind up within a minute.
I want to remind my colleague that even just mere disbursement of CDF was not being done evenly. That was purely political intolerance. And I want to remind my colleague again that we had places that other members could not visit. Why? Because they were deemed to be PF strongholds. And I want to remind him that in Mpika, Kasama, we were not allowed even just to refuel vehicles. Why? Because it was perceived a PF strongholds and we were called cockroaches and rats. That was political intolerance. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
There being no further debate, it's time up. The subject for debate lapses. The House is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. Business of the House has adjourned. We now take a look at business. that have been considered from the time business commenced at about 14:30 hours. The House did consider some urgent matters without notice, and thereafter the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation rendered a ministerial statement on the continued denial of visas to members of Parliament despite having diplomatic passports.
Yes, indeed, after consideration of that ministerial statement by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the House did consider the Property Transfer Tax Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2025 at the second reading, and a committee stage is expected to be taken on 10th December 2025.
The House also considered the Mobile Money Transaction Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2025 at second reading stage, and committee stage is expected to be considered on Wednesday, 10th December 2025.
The House considered the Betting Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2025 at the second reading stage, and the committee stage is expected to be taken on 10th December 2025.
Thereafter, the House did consider the Independent Broadcasting Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2025 at report stage, and the third reading stage is expected to be considered tomorrow, 4th December 2025.
The Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2025 was also considered at a report stage, and a third reading to be taken tomorrow, 4th December 2025.
After the consideration of the bills, the House did resolve into Committee of Supply for the consideration of estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory expenditure. And Joe, we run through some of the key heads of expenditure that have been considered.
Yes, indeed. Head 01, Office of the President, State House, a total allocation of 163,569,036 kwacha was agreed to stand as part of the estimates.
Head 02, Office of the Vice President, a total budgetary allocation of 153,298,473 kwacha has been agreed to.
Head 05, Electoral Commission of Zambia, a total of 1,290,475,439 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimates.
And head 06, Civil Service Commission, Office of the President, a total budgetary allocation of 21,118,851 kwacha has been agreed to.
Head 07, Office of the Auditor General, a total amount of 248,119,000 kwacha, 696 kwacha rather, was agreed to stand as part of the estimates.
Head 08, Cabinet Office, Office of the President, with a total budgetary allocation of 913,851,334 kwacha has been agreed to.
Head 09, Teaching Service Commission, Office of the President, 22,860,339 kwacha was agreed to stand as part of the estimates.
Head 19, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, with a total budgetary allocation of 81,430,364 kwacha agreed to.
Head 26, Ministry of Information and Media, 233,876,061 kwacha was agreed to stand part of the estimates.
And head 27, Public Service Management Division, with a total budgetary allocation of 104,666,231 kwacha agreed to.
Ministry of Labor and Social Security, that's head 44, a total allocation of 97,890,919 kwacha was agreed to stand as part of the estimates.
Yes, indeed. So those were the heads of expenditure that the Committee of Supply considered today. Thereafter, we did have the notice of subject for debate on the motion of adjournment. Joe?
Yes, indeed. So this motion was brought by Chilubi Member of Parliament, Mr. Mulenga Fuve, that urging the House to address the existence of political intolerance in the country, and the motion lapsed due to time.
Yes, so basically that's the business that has been considered today. From me, Tazapiri and Joa Kataman, on behalf of the entire production crew, not forgetting our sign language interpreters Chola Kauma and Jason Manda, we wish you a pleasant evening.